InDepthKaariUpson studied at the New York Studio School and received her BFA and MFA from California Institute of the Arts. Solo shows include The New Museum, New York 2017, and Hammer Museum, Los Angeles 2007. Recent group exhibitions include Martha Herford Museum, Herford, Germany 2018, 15th Istanbul Biennial 2017, Whitney Biennial 2017. Who is Kaari Upson? Kaari Upson was born in San Bernardino, California, a world of conflagration, a site of catastrophe. Kaari lives and works in Los Angeles. Kaari works in cast objects, objects cast away, impressions, models, bodies, your childhood home. She's obsessed with getting to the truth, but employs strategies of meditated fiction to pursue it.
My mother made a dollhouse for my daughter that was in my bedroom because my daughter didn't want it in her room. It mirrors my mom's idea of home perfectly. It looks a lot like their home. We 3D scanned everything in the dollhouse. So the reel makes its way in, but everything's 12 times its size. So pathologically recording is very important to my work.
Trees, fires, archetypes, voids, and disappearances. But not content with depiction, Upson instead invents methods for a kind of somatic realism, in which real and allegorical objects are transformed into life-size impressions of themselves.
I can't backtrack fast enough. If I told this story, by the time I would get to the end, the beginning, you would forget the beginning. But I'm building a home, let's just say, and it's a somatic home that deals with bringing together somebody else's life, my life, and then all the space between it. So it's filled with fantasy and speculation, and has such a tired little string attached to the facts. But the facts are still very important. So this is not tree. This is what you call aqua resin. It just happened to take the tree had been through three major fires. So in its bark, when I took the latex and set it up and then painted it with this material called aqua resin, it pulled all that char from it. The couches and stuff were part of sculptures I was finding a lot. A lot of my work was just the same as the alley it looked like, but a lot of homeless objects that had no place to go.
Drawings are really maps of time's passage, of subjects in search of reconnection. Reconnection. Reenactment. Kaari remembers.
It was a dumpster full of corn and flour tortillas. It piled so high, you wouldn't believe it, and it looked like my artwork. It looked like the latex work I make, which is over here. But it's insane. The smell of it was so foul, but apparently these are the best tortillas in town. My death meal is bean and cheese burrito. And it's real. If I add one last thing to eat, it would be a bean and cheese burrito. Normally it'd be cooked overnight. I have a whole bag of beans from Costco, the world's largest beans, but I didn't do that. So I ended up buying, it was funny, at the store down the street from my house, these beans. And these are the best beans if you don't do your own beans from scratch. And it's funny because these are the beans I grew up with. The fact that the second I opened it and I tasted it, because I haven't eaten breakfast yet, it tastes better than making them from scratch because it tastes like home. So I'm going to cook those up, and I just add excessive amounts of cheese. Tons of cheese. You have to put so much cheese in it. The cheese does not, wait, look, stays like that. If it doesn't stay like that, there's not enough cheese, okay? Like that. It's almost not enough cheese. The problem is, this isn't the right cheese. It's supposed to be the yellowy orange mild cheese. This is a very expensive, like, English cheddar, which I can't vouch for if it's gonna taste good.
Even though it's expensive.
Even though it's Costco expensive. It's like, that whole block of cheese, which originally is like this big, is $20 instead of the other cheese, which is $7. See, look, you think, no way, can she get more cheese in there? Yeah, I can get more cheese in there. So, okay, I'm gonna just make you guys some burritos.
That looks pretty good.
So you go like that.
Hold it up a little higher.
Okay, that much cheese. And then this new thing, life-changing, but hold on. Super sanitary, just like when you get your milk. Nice, right? That's some good design. See? Just enough. Oh, sorry, that really was not necessary. And then this is here. Salsa. Classic, simple, nothing else in that one. That's how I eat my beef and cheese. Should I put it on a nice plate? There was like a group of 7 of us, and everybody was like, this is just so beautiful. Your memories of San Bernardino it doesn't look like what it sounds like. And then 2 minutes later, a guy named Howard comes out of the tree, and he has a swastika on his chin, and like it looks like no arms, but he's just got his arms inside this giant shirt, so you can't see if he has weapons. Everybody gets alerted because he starts talking about how much he likes nature, and he walks around back here. He has those tattooed tears and a swastika on his face, and he's just talking to us. And then we all get back to the house, which is only 5 minutes away, and I was like, that's San Bernardino. Dr. Singer, he died in the evacuation. I got separated from my brother, who was with my mom. My dad wasn't around. And my mother made him go down in the backyard, which is pretty big, to turn on like a little tiny sprinkler. All of his hair got singed. Their truck caught on fire. Dr. Singer died in front of them. So my brother never recovered. My brother saved the house by standing on it all night with a fire hose. He was covered in black with red eyes. And that's when the Larry Project started, because the house across the street was broken into by the fire department, and I was always curious about this house. It was built after I had moved to New York, and I never met the owner. And as I went inside, it was just the craziest trappings of like this man who resurrected the Playboy Mansion 40 feet across the street from my parents' house. No, but you know what's next door to that.
No. These are great burritos.
They're like,
good.
I was creating this dislocated, fucked up Oedipal triangle between my parents' house, this dead Mr. Singer's house, and the Larry Project. All of a sudden it started coming together. It was taking charge like people do with inner child therapy or infantilism, where you go to a dominatrix and you say to her, I want you to do this, this, and this, and you replay your childhood. I was rebuilding the neighborhood that I grew up in under my own control at the very moment when all of a sudden childhood is over, anything could go away any moment, and I was rebuilding it under my control. The whole work was getting back home